I play a lot of Fortnite, and one of my favourite places to drop on the map is Shifty Shafts. I reckon it might even be the place that we've dropped the most times in the 2,000 plus games we've played. So in this video, Kai and I will be going through some tips and tricks on how to drop Shifty Shafts like a pro. Shifty is located in the mountainous area in the southwest part of the map. Despite this, it's quite central, so most of the time you'll either be inside or very near the first circle. After you've looted up, there are multiple tactics you can use to get into a better position for mid-game. You can go to Tilted if you want some kills, Greasy Grove if you want to get some loot, or you can go to the Broken Battle Bus if you want some loot and also want to head towards the centre of the map.
There are various different areas of Shifty that we will refer to throughout this video. Main building, East Hut, South Shack, South Platform, West Hut, West Trucks, Truck, Main Shaft, South Shaft, Southwest Shafts, Staircase, and East Shaft. These are the names we'll be using, but you don't have to use them if you don't want to.
So, let's get started. The main principle of Shifty Shafts is to land on a gun. Never land on a chest unless there are no useful guns in sight. By that I mean shotguns, SMGs, that kind of thing. Also, try to land on the highest level you can, or at least maybe one of the middle levels. The thing with Shifty is to try not to drop as low as you would for other locations. It gives you the choice of where you can drop, which is really vital. There are 4 levels in Shifty, so there's plenty of ways your opponent can just burst you in the head if you don't drop in the right place. If you don't consider yourself good enough to take a 1v1 or a team fight early on, the other option is to land onto the houses just outside Shifty. Generally there's enough loot there for 1 or 2 people, so don't try it in squads, but it can be really effective in duos or solos, and it's great if you don't think your chances in the main area are high enough.
Once you are the only person or team alive, it is probably a good idea to loot the remaining chests and ammo boxes. Shifty is a fairly small location, so this shouldn't take too long, compared to other places on the map, which is another reason why it's a great place to drop. If you loot fast enough, you can go to large towns where everyone is still looting, or you already have the loot you need. There is a chessboard in the main building and in the roof above the staircase. Then you can go to the hut above the east shafts and the walled off area in the southwest shafts. There are 2 hidden chests in the main shafts, which are located here and here. The final chest in the main area is inside the bay of the north truck. Then you should go to the houses. Each house has 2 chest spawns. In the blue house, 1 chest can spawn in the basement and 1 can spawn in the roof. The brown houses chests are both on the first floor, which can be found in the bedroom and under the smaller roof. Another good tip for the brown house is that even though there isn't a chest there, this is a good idea to check the attic because sometimes a gun or some meds can spawn. A more general piece of advice for houses is to break all the furniture because it can be a great source of materials, especially early game.
So, you've looted the entire Shifty, maybe with a few kills and a decent amount of health. What next? The first thing to try and do is get some more materials. They're so essential mid to late game, and it really helps you set yourself up with at least 300 before you even leave your first drop. As we just mentioned, houses can be a great place to get some quick starter materials, but if you want to bulk up your supply, there are a few things you can do. The most efficient way to get mats in Fortnite is through pallets. A stack of them can be found next to the West Shack. Although it isn't obvious, there are actually 2 different pallets in the stack, so break the top first and then the bottom so you get as much as possible. The next thing to do is mine some nearby trees. There's a small forest to the west of houses and some more trees to the north of the main shafts.
So at this point, you should be set up fairly well for mid-game. From this point, there are a few options. The decision you make could make or break the game, and it all depends on 3 factors: your skill, your loot, and the storm. If you consider yourself a high skill player, like me, then you might want to head into Tilted. The storm will be an issue here because most of the time Tilted is either in or right next to the first safe zone. Only use this tactic if you have sufficient loot to take on people who have probably looted at least 1 or 2 buildings in Tilted, as well as a few of the people that they may have killed.
The next tactic is to head to the centre of the map via the Broken Battle Bus to either Salty or Dusty. The first thing you want to do is go to the battle bus. I've seen various ways of getting there, most of them involve using a large amount of mats, So what I've come up with is a great method of going to the battle bus and getting down the mountain to the river while only using 10 materials. By only building one structure, you can go all the way up and down the mountain, taking 0 damage. So, let me show you. Okay, from there you can decide your path. Either go through the new crop zone to either of the locations or visiting the broken house and then to Salty. Both have the potential for loot, but the crop zone is more risky, so choose wisely.
The final strategy we're going to suggest is to go to Greasy Grove. This used to be our preferred strategy, which we called the Greasy Shaft strategy, but since the removal of the stone heads, we can't rift to other places, so we don't use it as much as before. It is still a very viable strategy, so we'll talk you through it. This is the best thing to do if you want fewer encounters depending on the bus. Generally, there will be one person or team of people left by the time you get there, so you won't have to do much fighting. Before you get there though, you should eat some mushrooms if your shield isn't at maximum, and mine some trees if you haven't already. Next, you should make your way to the house that sits between the two places. The house can spawn more chests in the attic, which can easily be accessed by building a staircase like this. After this, it's a good idea to get some high ground. Not only does this give you a good vantage point, but it can also give you a big advantage in any fight. There are 2 places that could give you this position. There are 2 hills, one to the east of Greasy, which has a corrupt zone in it, and one to the north, which has more trees for a few more materials. From there, take any fights you need to get extra loot. Be aware of the zone though, because Greasy isn't in a good position as Tilted or Salty, so it might not be in the safe circle.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching the entire video. If you want to see some more guides on how to drop different locations like a pro, leave them in the comment section and leave a like on this video if you want some more. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, subscribe to Kai if you want to, Kaims9, and I'll see you all later. Bye.